go back to the apartment. Nope.
Park.
Yes. Yes. Blah, 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 blah.
It says here that former
Yes. Bingo.
I should take it with me in case of emergencies.
Okay.
Who the hell has a soda-related emergency?
I do right now.
2 words. New Coke. One grape soda drip coming up.
I also see if I can actually give it to him, or if I have to put it in the. Where's my grape soda drip? Nope.
I'll just put this back here with the others, and Nurse Julie will never notice the difference.
Yeah, so long as she's colourblind or currently having a stroke. Well, what do you know? She did take the purple one.
You see? I'm not as stupid as I look.
You couldn't possibly be. No one could possibly be.
What do you think will happen?
Who knows? Medical students spend years studying the effects of intravenous beer and whiskey, but I don't think anyone has studied the effects of intravenous grape soda.
I think we should probably get out of here before Nurse Julie comes back out again.
Some bloody superhero you are, running away from a potentially annoyed goth nurse.
Well, are you hanging around?
Fuck no.
About that angel of mercy we were telling you about.
Oh yes, have you found me some evidence?
Damn it.
Purple Pants!
Can we go back to the hospital now?
Which one of you contaminated my saline drip?
There we go.
Contaminate is such a judgmental word. Can't we just say poisoned?
Miss, it was just youthful hijinks. Harmless fun from a couple of college students.
Yeah, we're huge Minnesota Vikings fans. We wanted to make your patient's face purple so he'd look like a fan too.
What a crock.
Oh, God. You're right. It's pointless lying. There are no Minnesota Vikings fans.
Thanks to you little jerks, my patient is currently recovering from severe diabetic shock.
Nurse, be fair. We couldn't possibly have known your patient was diabetic.
He wasn't.
Oh, that's nice.
After your little prank, he had a blood sugar level of 19. That's 1 point short of what we call the Gingrich factor.
Ooh.
You are officially discharged from this hospital. Here are your papers.
Aren't you concerned about the loss of my insurance money anymore?
Not really. Our lawyers will be suing your insurance company for the expensive diabetes treatments we'll be giving to the patient you just diabetized.
Nice. Alright, let's see if we can get everything in a row now. Alright, go in.
Please, ma'am, tell me what I did to offend you. Maybe I can put things right.
Tell you what you did? You can't have forgotten what you did to me at the auditions already. You flooded the toilets and left me to clean up after you. You gave that sleazy slimeball Kirk my telephone number. He thinks I'm crazy about him. You got me demoted to this dead-end job when Stefan found out that I helped you blackmail him. You got my audition for America's Next Singing Sensation cancelled when you blew my skirt up and made me flash my chihuahua in front of all the cameras!
We couldn't possibly have known you were going to remove your underwear to cool down.
Of course you could have known. You were the bandidos who broke the thermostat to make the theater so unbearably hot.
I'd like my check now, please. I have my discharge papers from Lakeview Hospital right here.
Okay, these appear to be in order.
Awesome! Then we'll just be...
However, I need your passport to verify you are who you claim to be.
But you were at the theater! You know it's me!
I don't recognize you.
You said you were going to make my life hell!
To be fair, it's not unheard of for complete strangers to tell you that.
You could be anyone coming in here off the street. I see 10 guys a day dressed like you.
Really? He looks like a keep fit pimp.
Let me put this in terms even you could understand. No passport, no check.
I already got the passport.
Alright, ma'am. There's no need to be condescending.
It's hard not to be condescending when you're talking to an idiot.
Aha! You do remember him.
Okay, lady, I brought my passport. Now may I have my check?
Driver's license.
This looks nothing like you.
Well, that's a blessing at least.
I can't take this as identity verification.
Of course it doesn't look anything like me. I'm in my alter ego mode in that photo. I can't very well have another passport with me wearing my costume, can I?
Hardly. You'd never get that bloody hat in the photo booth.
You'll have to come back looking like your alter ego if you want this check.
Hey, cut me some slack here, will ya? I can't just start getting undressed on the street, can I?
Not unless we make absolutely sure there's no cops around this time.
Fine, I will accept a fresh photograph of you as your alter ego.
That's all for now, miss.
Now back to the apartment.
I can't get changed without transforming back into Kyle.
Plus, you have a dozen identical pairs of track pants.
I found the...
Yes, blah, blah, blah,
Back-
blah.
It's...
I've never known anyone with more of a
At least this...
two.
Yes, blah, 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 blah. Alright.
You wouldn't happen to have a photograph of my constant companion, would you?
Why the hell would I have a photo of your... Oh, you mean Kyle, don't you?
Of course I mean Kyle. What else would I mean? He's a handsome chap. You must have some photos of him, right?
None you could show your maiden aunt. Besides, that receptionist is going to want one that's taken today. You'll just have to find a way to transform back into Kyle.
For some reason, I have no recollection of how I changed from Kyle into me in the first place.
Being hit in the head repeatedly.
I see. That would explain the short-term memory loss. Doesn't sound like something I should try again, though. Although it would explain the short-term memory loss.
There can only be a finite number of ways for superheroes to change back and forth into their alter egos. Just try the most obvious.
How do I change back into Kyle, old friend?
Well, you just change your clothes and ruffle your hair a bit, don't you?
Oh no, that's not it at all. If I did that, I'd still be me. I'd still be thinking like the Purple Patriot.
Are you telling me that you've got two distinct personas in that head of yours? No wonder it's so big.
What could my change mechanism be?
How should I know? You didn't come with an instruction manual, you know. What do other superheroes do?
Go into phone booths, spin around madly, get incredibly angry, and ignite their bodies to a surface temperature of 3 million degrees Celsius.
Well, try them out then. All except that last one. You really want to be entirely sure that's the right one before doing that.
That's all for now, old chum.
Alright, we're going to the police station. Let's try the phone booth. Which I'm sure won't work the way I want it to work, but what the hell, man. Huh,
You better take the camera. If this works, I want to change back again as soon as possible.
Do you know you've got some photos already on this card?
No, those are just the sample pictures which came with the camera.
No, they're not. The timestamp shows they're recent.
Don't look at those!
Oh my god. I can't believe my eyes.
Well, that's it. Now you know my shameful secret.
I can't believe it. Where'd you keep 'em?
In a lockbox next to the closet.
Do you feed 'em? Is it safe to get 'em wet?
Of course! They're not gremlins, you know.
And you've got all of them?
Yep. All the ones who didn't end up as lunch for next door's cat, anyway.
Wow. You're like a real-life Gargamel.
Smurfs, apparently.
No luck, old chum. I guess this is not the right method.
At least give it a chance, mate. You can't just galumph in there and expect it to happen automatically. You have to put some effort in. You have to generate some energy.
You think?
Of course. If it happened just by walking into the phone booth, superheroes would never be able to phone their spouses to tell them they'll be late for dinner. There's obviously a knack to it.
I guess that does make sense. All right, I'll give it a shot.
Christ, he's gonna run into it. Yep.
I hope he's coming back. He had my subway ticket in his pocket. Can we go again? I had the shutter speed all wrong.
I fear this wasn't the right technique to turn me back into Kyle.
In retrospect, we probably should have known you were on the wrong track when it didn't work the second you stepped in there. Now, don't punch the messenger. What was next on your list?
Spinning around.
Spinning around like a whirling dervish.
We're going to the TV station.
That's a relief. After all the accidents you've had lately, getting you to spin around madly can't possibly go wrong.
There does seem to be money inside it, but I really don't want to be carrying that huge box around with me all day.
Plus, the whole thing about loose change is that it's, you know,
The
loose.
bag.
There does seem to be money inside it, but I really don't want to be carrying that huge box
That's
around
why I
with
gave
me
you the
all
bag.
day.
Plus, the whole thing about loose...
Seriously? It's
The integrity of the box appears to have been compromised by the impact when the booth was demolished.
You mean it's open, right?
It is now.
Okay, now can I use the bag?
There must be 200 bucks in quarters in here. I'll take the money with me.
Yeah, no sense leaving it here. Some bastard will only nick it.
Yeah.
TV station.
In some ways, those revolving doors are a melancholy analogy for the fleeting fame for which the reality television industry has become infamous.
You know, sometimes you can be surprisingly deep. Not often, mind you.
Camera. There you go.
Okay, now take the camera. If this works, I want to be able to take the photo and change back pronto.
Is that gonna work?
Yeah, okay. Hey,
Eh.
yowza! So that's why you paid for that gym membership. Those are some impressive pectorals.
That's actually a dude. I went into the wrong locker room by mistake.
Wait, what?
Yaha! I feel dirty and yet strangely aroused at the same time.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'll get the picture. Got it.
What do you mean you got it? I didn't change back into Kyle.
No, I know, but this video will get me $2,000 if they show it on Superheroes Do the Stupidest Things.
Well, there's nothing else left but to get angry.
Don't give up, mate. There's still hope.
No, I mean getting angry is the only method of transforming into Kyle that we haven't tried.
Right. I knew that.
Now how the hell are we going to get me angry?
That's a toughie. The Gay Pride
The-
March doesn't take place till June, otherwise that would have been a shoo-in.
The dude at the bar. No. Shoot.
I'm off.
Camera. Oh, jump.
What the hell is that?
It's that contestant from the audition. I don't think he'd picked a name last we saw him.
I've never met that thing before. If I'd met some kind of abomination like that, I'd remember it.
You know, when you were Kyle, you had an intellect rivaled only by root vegetables, but at least you were a kind idiot. The new you has a personality only a conservative radio host could love.
There is no Kyle. He's just a character I created. He's my mild-mannered alter ego.
Mild-mannered? You must never have heard that boy fart the national anthem. Sometimes he even used to get a box of matches out to do the rocket's red glare.
What are you doing in here?
You mean what's a nice boy like me doing in a bar like this, you sweet talker?
Listen, you affront to God. I'm more likely to beat you down than chat you up.
Normally, I don't do the submissive thing. I'm more of a dom than a sub in private, but for you, I might make an exception.
I think the big guy was just generally curious, nay, wondering what brought you to True Believers.
It's the place to be seen for superheroes and supervillains.
Yes.
So have you got...
It's harder than it.
We can't keep calling...
It would take me a...
I was looking for something...
Alright, anger. Let's go to the hospital.
What are you doing?
Taking a picture of Grape Boy. We can tell Fruitcake that Nurse Julie did this to him.
What? Have you lost those last remaining shreds of what we optimistically refer to as your sanity? You're framing someone for a crime you committed.
Yep.
It'll all work out in the long run. We'll stop Fruitcake from injuring the nurse, and she'll endorse me. Then, when I'm an official superhero, fully licensed and bonded by the state of New York, I'll be able to help many innocent citizens. It's a net gain, ethically speaking, old friend.
Ah, the old end justifies the means argument. It worked so well for Stalin, what could possibly go wrong?
Okay, apparently we're gonna do that piece now. There it is.
About that angel of mercy we were telling you about.
Oh yes, have you found me some evidence?
Well, yes, we have.
Brace yourself. This is pretty horrific stuff.
Oh, Dawkins, that guy is nearly as
What the-
purple as you, Purple Pants. Only he's purple in the face. What happened to him?
Nurse Julie tried to smother him with a pillow.
That's not strictly...
Can you see now what a witch she is? Something needs to be done about her. I'd do it myself, but people would think I was just seeking personal vengeance for what she did to me. But you could take her down.
Mate, I can't just stand here and let you... Ow!
She's over at the Lakeview Hospital. You should get over there right away before she gets wind you're after her.
Thanks, Purple Pants. I won't forget this.
Yeah, you won't forget this, all right?
Excuse me, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah, sorry, old chum. Couldn't risk you spilling the beans to the mincing monstrosity over there.
You kicked me, and you lied to that poor bloke. You've got him out there trying to arrest Nurse Julie for something you know she didn't do. What the hell happened to upholding the law, eh?
Look, old pal, the law is a bit like an overfilled suitcase. Sometimes you have to bend it and maybe even sit on it a while in order to close the case.
I can't believe you're justifying violence and dishonesty. I think those tights are cutting off the circulation to your brain.
I don't expect an assistant to understand the nuances of law enforcement, old chum. Just trust that I know what I'm doing and try not to worry your head about it.
Yeah, 'cause the patronising patriarch attitude makes everything alright again.
I see your first mission was a spectacular success.
You never told me she was a goth. Goths are tough.
Quit your whining, you pansy! You got beat up by a woman. Do you have any idea how pathetic it is to see a man beaten up by a woman? It's degrading to the entire male gender.
What about when you got beaten up outside that Catholic girls' college because you were harassing some of the girls?
That's different. I was only 17 and she was a teacher.
She was a nun.
Exactly. Nuns are like religious ninjas. Everyone knows that. They're like the Gestapo in drag.
Wow.
She gave you a nipple cripple.
I have very sensitive nipples. All right. Explain yourself, sissy. Tell me how you ended up in this sorry position.
All right, mate, lay off the poor bloke. Can't you see he's badly injured?
I'm giving him a chance to offer some mitigating circumstances for being bested by a girl. I'm trying to save him from becoming even more of an embarrassment to his parents.
When I got here, the Black Widow over there was looming over that patient she tried to smother. I knew I had to act quickly before she did something terrible to him.
So quick as a flash, you hit her bedpan with your head, laid down on the floor, and surrendered, right? You make me sick.
Will you knock it off?
I don't need to. Rocky Asiano over here already got it knocked off. By a girl.
I tried to restrain her. Really, I did.
So you did actually make the first move? You didn't just stand here and let her smack the crap out of you, did you?
No, I jumped on her and tried to get her down on the floor.
You jumped on a woman? I find that hard to believe.
He tried to mace me.
Probably carries it around in his purse.
I did my best, Purple Pants. She was just too strong for me.
You're under arrest for assault. You have the right to remain silent. Anything I want to hear from you can and will be beaten out of you in a dark room. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, you have no rights.
It's the Miranda warning as read by Dirty Harry.
Hey, Nurse Beetlejuice, go call 911. Tell them we have a dirtbag in custody.
You don't need to have him arrested. He really wasn't much trouble.
Nonsense! Guys like this belong in jail, away from decent people.
This is some kind of joke, right?
Yeah, and it's on you, panty waist. Pull that screen, old friend. I'm going to unload some excessive force on this waste of oxygen.
You can't do that.
Sure I can. The police won't be here for a few minutes yet.
I mean, you can't beat someone up for a crime you instigated.
I didn't make him commit a crime. I just gave him the opportunity.
Have you any idea what you're becoming?
Yeah, a hero. Think it's fun to beat on a defenseless woman, do you?
I barely touched her. She did more damage to me than I did to her.
See? You're not only a dangerous, violent criminal, you're a bad, dangerous, violent criminal.
What's going on here?
Lieutenant Griffith, thank you for getting here so fast. I caught this fiend trying to assault the poor, innocent nurse on the
Jesus.
ward.
But you...
Stopped you before you could do any harm? That's right. Lieutenant, I want you to take this guy to the station and throw the book at him. And then maybe hit him with a chair. And do you still use those billy club things? Those are cool.
Sir, we don't use excessive force at the NYPD.
Oh, I wish you'd said something. I'd have given him more of a kicking before you got here.
I'll need the nurse to come to the station and make a statement, you know.
No problem. She'll be only too glad to tell you what a hero I was. Well, old friend, I got that commendation I needed. Don't you feel proud?
I feel sick.
I know exactly what you mean. Looking at a man in a skirt always has that effect on me. Among others.
Not about him, about you.
What did I do?
You committed entrapment, had the victim arrested, and then beat on him because you disapprove of his lifestyle.
Oh, get off your high horse, you do-good pansy. I didn't beat on him because of his lifestyle. I beat on him because he tried to assault the nurse.
Oh, well, that makes it all right then.
At this rate, I'm going to start to wonder whether you share his lifestyle.
What if I do?
Don't talk stupid.
No, really, what if I do? Eh? What then?
Then, well, I'm going to stop walking around the apartment naked, that's for sure.
If only you would.
Alright, well, it knocks that one out.
Purple Patriot, nice to see you again.
I think I've turned invisible again.
If only you could manage mute as well.
Oh, that's right. The vehicle and the crime.
Thank you.
Okay.
We should be...
Camera. Oh, there. Something that gets me really angry. Discovery values. Clear the apartment. This room.
This should get me angrier than an episode of Real Time with
Fantastic.
Bill Maher.
Give me the camera then. If this works, I'll need it. Hang about, you've got some photos already on here. What the
Let's see what it
heck
is
is
this
that?
time.
No, really, don't look at those. They're private.
It looks like a bunch of grapes being squeezed between two cantaloupes.
If you must know, I was checking to see whether my hemorrhoids had cleared up.
Oh, that's
I feel sick.
Old
graphic.
chum, you don't think this particular transformation is a bit specific?
Don't know what you mean, mate.
I mean, does it only work on certain types of superhero? What would I do if I turned into an enormous green brute?
Dunno. Get a job selling sweet corn, I suppose. I'll stop being a pillock. You're not going to turn green. Just get on with it.
Well, if you're sure. This is easier than I remember it.
Peeling the stickers off isn't strictly part of the rules.
Right. I think there are more red squares than yellow ones.
That one's orange.
Son of a...
Anything moving is just drawn to your head, isn't it?
It's like I have a black hole inside my head.
I'm glad you said that and not me.
So now what? I've tried every method of transforming into Kyle and none of them worked.
Maybe we're being too abstract. Maybe we need to be more literal.
In what way, old chum?
Maybe you should just get into the closet and get changed.
Do you think we've been overthinking this, old friend?
Overthinking is not something I normally associate with you, but you never know.
Just climb in and get changed, you reckon?
It's worth a shot, isn't it?
It couldn't hurt. Unless the lock gets jammed again and I get stuck in there for several days, which it almost certainly will.
I like a positive thinker.
Well, look away then!
Since when are you shy? People usually have to ask you to put clothes on.
I'm not shy. I have something in my closet I don't want you to see.
You've become very defensive about your closet since you joined the Scientologists.
Where's the light switch in here?
There's not a lot of call for lights inside closets.
Right. Gently does it. Gently does it. Son of a bitch! Those were my good tights.
You panic so easily. I'm sure they can be salvaged.
Not without a full moon.
Are you getting changed in there or putting up shelves?
There's not enough room in here to get changed. I keep banging my elbow on something.
Just try to finagle it a bit.
Whoa!
I guess that's why it's always Teller that gets in the box and Penn talks to the audience.